welcome back to Elder Scrolls Online, everybody. We're still continuing on with the Clockwork City quest that I wanted to do, and we have 3 of them, and they're all in various different spots at the moment. We're gonna go ahead and talk to this guy up here first, as we were just doing this quest last time.
Remember what happened to your mother?
With the Outsiders' help, that treasure is as good as mine. Then everyone will see that the Prognosticator is a fraud.
When I asked you to help Khamid, this wasn't exactly what I had in mind. I want to see our people abandon the reckless pilgrimage to the Grand Prognosticator. But going after the treasure is just as dangerous, maybe even more so. Khamid seeks to replace one foolish pilgrimage with another. Very well. I can tell you that the treasure exists. I've seen the wreckage of the merchant caravan myself, but getting close enough to recover it, impossible. Because of the massive fabricate that prowls the area. Gear Grinder is bigger than 3 brawny Nords and 100 times more dangerous. It slaughtered the pilgrims that attempted to recover the treasure. I was the only survivor. I'm still uncomfortable with all this, but I can see that you and Khamid are determined. The wreckage lies scattered far to the south, near the mountains that form the southern border of the radius. Gear Grinder is a killer. Please, keep Khamid safe. Before you go, Khamid mentioned you found Malia's journal. He said it contained a passphrase and mentioned Sotha Seal's honored assistant. Is that true? I'm sorry to say that when I was a young man, I came across a sequence plaque that belonged to one of Sotha Seal's original assistants, an apostle called Albacron. The plaque contained a series of passphrases. That's how I found the lost treasure. They allowed me to change the nature of my pilgrimage. I was able to get the Prognosticator to tell me how to locate the lost treasure of the Radius, thus altering my future. Or so I hoped. But the Fabricant... maybe our fates are set after all. I'm not sure how I feel, not anymore. But I didn't give Malia the passphrase. She must have found the plaque where I hid it. Maybe if she hadn't... When you return from the wreckage, if you return, I'll tell you more about the passphrases.
Alright.
I can't believe Palbatin revealed the location. Now we can show my people that the Prognosticator isn't infallible. That we can forge our own destinies. I'll meet you near the wrecked caravan, and we can figure out how to deal with Gear Grinder.
Yeah, I'll beat it up, no worries. Alright, let's go talk to Kirith, I guess. I think that's probably the end of their quest, at least. So we'll have 2 active ones going on. I'm assuming our 3rd quest is just going to take me to spots to go collect things, but I could be wrong.
There you are. I was worried sick about you. Did everything go all right? You didn't run into any trouble, did you? Raynor requires constant supervision, especially around ruins and other ancient places. He's extremely smart, but he has few practical skills and he's easily distracted. He does he? Well, I have a few words for Raynor as well. We're partners, and partners don't abandon each other when the going gets rough. Anyway, thanks for making sure he got back here safe and sound. I appreciate it.
Kirith, well, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have stormed off like that. I blame all this metal. I think I'm getting a rash.
I'm sorry too. I said some things that were uncalled for, unfair. That Naramo just makes my skin crawl, you know?
It's the way he talks. Humongous words and a superior attitude.
Sounds like someone else I know. Now, come on and tell me what you've discovered.
What a day! We saw some amazing sights, and we did it without my sister's help. Still, I'm glad we settled things and we're back to being partners again. I suppose I really do rely on Kirith's skills and abilities. Anyway, thanks again.
Well, now that that's all over and done with, we can get back to the exciting stuff. I can't wait to crawl around in some of these clockwork contraptions. Anyway, thanks for helping Raynor. I really do worry about him, you know.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's probably going to be the last time we see these two for a while, at least, because I'm assuming we're going to see some other people that we know more so in Somerset than the Dark Elves we've been, like, hanging around with, so... Let's talk to Xanon again. And I'm assuming he's going to send us off somewhere else again, but I could be wrong. I've only got like an hour left before the server shut down, so I do have to kind of hurry with this, so... I don't think it's going to take a full hour for these last two, though. I think the other quest is pretty close to being done, we just have to go over that way. Oh yeah, I forgot his area was like in this area with the enemies. Okay. Okay.
Integral of memory detected. Would you be so kind as to insert it into my forehead ridge?
You've returned in one piece. How gleaming!
In your absence, I've set up a framework to contain the factotum while we assemble its parts. I'll have you do the honors.
Of installing the integral of memory.
You heard the head? Insert the crystal into its forehead ridge. And don't worry, you won't break it. Sotha Seal builds his creations to last.
Thrust left, please. Your left, not mine. Reflecting. Reflecting. Oh, I feel positively spring-loaded now. What a kind, generous apostle you are, which I recall is rather strange. I don't quite understand. I function only to know my Lord Sotha Seal and his apostles. You are not my lord, and thus you must be an apostle. Simple. Do you have an inquiry, or perhaps a task for me, apostle? Reflecting. Reflecting. I've come to the conclusion that I am. I have no memory stored of any of my kind who are older, so I conclude that I must be the first. How gleaming. I cannot recall my name, but you may call me Precursor. Of course, let me check my integral of memory. Should be right. Great Sotha Seal in the sanctum. Someone's tampered with my crystalline memory matrix. But wait, something's burned in here. I seem to have left a note for myself. Ahem. Salutations, me. By now you must be wondering what happened to our memory. Dark forces have conspired to corrupt our knowledge of the world. But do not fear. I, the past you, have stored our memory in our other parts. A circumstance I have not accounted for. This is me now, not the message. I recall that my design includes both Dwemer and clockwork parts. I also recall my blueprint, so I can guide my assembly once you find my parts. So the seal guide you, Apostle.
Curious.
Astounding! The first factotum Sotha Seal created. We simply must complete construction now. The more memory it recalls, the further my research can develop. Council seat, here I come! The Precursor mentioned he was made of clockwork and Dwemer parts. I'd keep an eye out for the former as you travel around Clockwork City, and search Dwemer ruins out in Tamriel for the latter. And of course, I have your reward as promised.
Apostle, I have remembered something. Come quickly before it rusts. By Sotha Seal, my chest is hot. It must be near a volcano. Perhaps the one in Alikir? I don't remember going to any others, but my memory isn't what it used to be. Lord Sotha Seal deemed it uncouth to give my parts eyes, but each has a wide array of sensors. I can orient myself on Nirn by the air's smell and the earth's feel. Why, my pelvis even has gustatory sensors. I suspect that's Lord Vivek's contribution. I mean, of course, I have no proof that he had a part in my creation, but I like to think so. My dramatic flair, my poetic soul, it helps set me apart from the rest of my siblings. To sense, to touch, to feel, what gift I have been given.
So this must be the thing of where we got our parts from, like the Drummer Ruins and stuff. So we actually should have a couple pieces here. Yeah, we did. Okay. So we actually had the pelvis and the
I sought the seal. My chest is.
we had the pelvis and we had like a leg. So that's actually decent, I guess. So that's pretty nice, at least. We got rid of some pieces that were stuck in our inventory for quite some time. Yeah, we only have one quest left to do at this point now. If we get any more of the pieces for this guy, then we can always come back.
Remember, the parts are most likely in the Clockwork City, or in Dwemer Ruins in Tamriel. I've heard of corrupted memory crystals firing at random, so you may want to return occasionally to see if the Precursor knows anything new. There's no way to be sure short of asking Lord Set, but many signs point that way. The dwarven influences, the different coloring, the male voice. Not to mention, he's more, shall we say, loquacious than your average factotum. Factotums don't have emotions or individuality. They say whatever they're functioned to say, nothing more. But this one seems to have a personality of sorts. For what reason, though? We have to continue our research if we're to find that out.
Yep, okay. Okay, just we have to go and deal with that last quest, which is way out this way. So we may as well just go ahead and teleport over there. All right.
Creature. It's even worse than Palbatin told us. Look, I appreciate all the help, but I don't want to see you die on my behalf. Are you sure you can deal with that beast? I'm no warrior, you know that. Without you, we wouldn't have gotten this far. I'll stay out of the way, so don't worry about me. Just be safe out there and try not to die.
Oh no, you're not getting out of this easy.
What? Throw rocks? I won't even be able to dent that monstrosity. Listen, if you really need my help down there, use the whistle and I'll see what I can do. It won't be much, but I might be able to cause a distraction so you can catch your breath.
Right, okay. Where is our friend at? Oh, there he is. That's not like something too crazy there, man. I thought this guy was going to be like a T-Rex having a fight. He does have some HP though, I will give him that. Thanks for the gold. Got some spice.
did it! Thanks to you, we found the lost treasure. This proves the prognosticator isn't an oracle. It's just a machine. Not a very good one at that. Now I can show the people of Slagtown that we're not prisoners to destiny. Yes, my friend, spices. Wonderful, delicious spices. That's the most valuable treasure of all, when your diet consists of nothing but flavorless paste. This will not only improve our lives, it will show my people that our fate is not set in stone. More than that, spices are as rare as a blade of grass in a city of metal. Wealthy mages and apostles will pay dearly for such a tempting treat. But I need to be cautious. Others will try to steal this treasure. I need to hide it to keep it safe. Return to Slagtown and meet me there. Then we can show my people how we changed the outcome of the prognosticator's prediction and improved my destiny. I just wish my mother had lived to see this day.
Alright. Now we just head on back. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and use the way shrine up this way. But it is amusing because technically it's not incorrect to say that the Think Down the Fortunes didn't do it correctly, because I was the one that killed the thing and it couldn't give a correct quantity of a fortune to me. So I was pretty much a wild card.
I've called a few people together so I can tell them what we've done. Hopefully, word will then spread throughout Slagtown and all of the Brass Fortress. Palbatin and I talked about my mother. We don't think she saw the prediction from the Oracle. We think she was out there trying to do the same thing as me. She was trying to figure out how the prognosticator works so she could get it to change our fortunes. Palbatin believes she acquired the passphrase from the sequence plaque he hid away. That's our best guess. She was trying to help us, all of us. I just wish she had told me. That she hadn't tried to do it on her own. Well, thanks to you, I succeeded where she failed. Now we just have to convince the rest of Slagtown. Art. That's not something you hear a lot about in a place that runs on gears and cogs. Here. This is your share of the treasure. You earned it. Oh, and Palbatin wants you to meet him in the Outlaws' Refuge afterward. He has something for you, too. People of Slagtown, I bring you a revelation. The prognosticator lies, but we can change our fortunes. We have free will.
Comet, the apostles say there's no such thing as free will.
What you're implying is heresy, Comet.
Is it heresy to speak the truth? I performed the pilgrimage. I received the usual grim fortune that predicted I'd be poor until I died. But that future is a false future. I refused to accept that fate, and I changed it. And if I can do it, so can you.
Oh, really? You look just as destitute as you did yesterday, Comet. Maybe even more so.
I found the lost treasure of the Radius. I made a deal to sell some of the spices, and this is the contract. I'm rich!
So we can change our fate? The future isn't a set sequence?
We have to tell everyone. Comet changed the future. The prognosticator was wrong.
Alright, looks like that's done. And now we have to go to, over this way. I'm not exactly sure where to get there. I think it's off this way, yeah.
Crow friend, a word.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing your daily. Oh, here he is.
Sorry for the clandestine request, but I have words meant for your ears only. What you and Khamid learned, what he convinced Slagtown about the Grand Prognosticator, well, it's not entirely accurate. No, you figured out how the Prognosticator makes its predictions, but the factotum has a defect, a sequencing error, as it were. You see, it can also actually prophesy the future. The pilgrimage needed to be discredited. People were going out into the Vale and getting killed for no good reason. But just because the message has been corrupted doesn't mean the messenger wasn't worth listening to. Because the people of Slagtown never had the right passphrase. Malia jotted the one for the analyst in her journal, but she made no mention of the one for the prognosticator. I had it though. That's why my fortune was different. Then it's even more imperative that I give you the plaque. The prognosticator must have a prophecy to reveal, but it won't speak unless you provide the proper passphrase. Take the honored assistant's plaque and learn the fate that awaits you.
Interesting. Prime Sequence 11, 1317. To best discern and determine the needs of the residents of the Clockwork City, Lord Sothasil commanded me to create a series of factorums for the express purpose of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting social and environmental information in order to accurately predict trends and demands of the populace. As the first model created, the Clockwork Analyst was designed for the primary menial task of collecting and analyzing data relevant to the citizens of the Brass Fortress. This first-generation analyst model of Factorum specializes in counting births and deaths, tracking residents and registered visitors, recording illnesses, wealth, and social factors necessary to predict trends in the settlement. Once the concept is fully tested and vetted, we shall expand the project to the rest of the Clockwork City. The passphrase for interacting with this Factorum's memory core is Magnus commands you. Taking everything we learned with the first generation Factorum, we created the second generation prognostic model. This Factorum can take this data collected by the analyst and use the information to make accurate predictions concerning the wants and needs of all the citizens. In this way, Sothasil could anticipate the needs of his guests and satisfy them before they even realized that they had any outstanding wants to gratify. During the process, however, a flaw developed in the prognosticum's model, sequencing, analyst, processor assembly. Predictions, if provided regarding certain individuals, went far beyond mere statistical analysts and ventured into the realm of actual prophecy. This flaw was first noticed after the Magus himself tinkered with the mechanism. We cannot be certain that this was not what Sothasil intended. But the master has vanished again. I shall store the prognosis Factorum in the valley outside the Brass Fortress and lock this prophetic mode for the passphrase. Prime Sequence 11, 13, and 17. I should keep the unauthorized prophesying to a minimum until the master returns. I can ask for guidance regards to his intentions. So yeah, I guess we can go back there and actually see what it says. It's sort of like a little hidden quest, I guess. Which is interesting. I guess that'll be the last thing we do here, because... okay, it's off that way. Alright. So I know it was a bit higher up. It's not down in the pit, so... okay, it's over there. What's this? thought maybe it was an actual, like, entrance. It may be an entrance, I just can't get to it with the enemy following me.
By the word of Set, I am bound. No pronouncements can be furnished without proper statistics to analyze. Please provide the appropriate passphrase or present yourself to a Clockwork Apostle for immediate data collection. Initializing. Reflecting. Reflecting. Unauthorized prophetic element engaged. Analyzing proximate subject. Determining wealth and social status. Permission to continue. Wealth and social status analysis complete. Indicates a modest level of income and the social status of a commoner or traveling merchant. Reflecting. Reflecting. Health and wellness analyzer engaged. Permission to continue. Health and wellness analysis complete. Indicates an exceptional constitution and the stamina of a warrior or adventurer. Unfortunate. Such individuals lead exceptionally brief lives. Hold. Disengaging prophetic inhibitor. Prophecy imminent. Dreaming. 1 niche. 2 niche. Prophecy complete. I see an island. A tower. 3 princes. Darkness spreading across the land. I see a golden knight and an unexpected sacrifice. I see an end. Everything must perish. That is the way of all reality. But the end that I see, you can alter the outcome. The variables indicate a minuscule percentage point in your favor. A chance. Lord Set and the 3 willing. Reflecting. Reflecting. Probabilities calculated. Odds generated. Demise certainty. 99.99%. And Somerset is the sequence of the words.
Somerset. That's where we're heading next. That's actually pretty neat, because this obviously was like the little tidbit for, at the time when this came out, for what was coming next in the big expansion. So that's actually pretty neat. It's neat to stumble onto those type of things. That one's actually pretty blatant though, but there's some other stuff, like as far as I understand, that's a lot more subtle with how it shows what's happening in like future content. In any case, I think that's about it for Clockwork City for us. Took us about an extra half hour than I figured. Where'd that other person just go? Oh, they're running off that way. I guess they're gonna go play down in the sludge. But yeah, I had quite a bit of fun here with this DLC. I thought it was a little bit, like, on the meager side, I guess. But we're going to be getting into, like, a full-on expansion next anyway, so it's not going to really be too much of a difference, I guess. Yeah, next time I'm pretty sure we're going to be heading straight into Somerset stuff, so I will see you guys next time.